Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Narayana Paro Vyaktat Andam Avyakta Sambham Andasyantastvime Lokaha Saptadvipa Chamedhini. Hari Om. Welcome to the second month and fifth day of Srimad Bhagavad Gita through the lens of Bhagwan Sri Adisankaracharya. So in the last chapter we saw how Sri Krishna was listening to Arjuna's wailing of his expression of his sorrow, expression of his grief about killing his own fellow human beings, fellow family members, cousins, teachers, and grandparents, and nephews, grandchildren, and all those, the number of family members he was listing out. And since there was no reaction from Bhagwan Sri Krishna, he was trying to elicit some reaction by pointing out that it is harmful and it is sinful, giving a dharma perspective to not fight the war. So all the while, Sri Krishna was just listening to him, and Arjuna could not take it anymore. He put his bow and arrow, and he just collapsed in the chariot in the presence of Sri Krishna. So the second chapter begins, and even here, Bhagwan Adisankaracharya doesn't begin his commentary until the words of Sri Krishna's Ashocyan. It begins from there. So let's see the verses. Sanjaya Uvacha Tam Tatha Kripaya Vishtam Ashrupurna Kulekshanam Vishidantamidam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudanaha Tam Tatha Kripaya Avishtam Arjunam Tam. Having seen that Arjuna, who is overwhelmed by self-pity, Kripa here means compassion for his own self. It is not compassion for others, but compassion or a feeling of self-pity. He is overwhelmed by that, overpowered by that. And his eyes are Ashrupurnak Akulekshanam. His eyes are filled with tears, filled with sorrow, filled with remorse. Vishidantam. He is feeling very sorrowful. Arjuna is overwhelmed by sorrow for his own condition, for his own mental condition. Vakyam Uvacha, Idam Vakyam Uvacha, Madhusudanaha. So to that Arjuna, Bhagavan Madhusudana, or the killer of Madhu, is speaking these words. What is Bhagavan speaking? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupasthitam Anaryajushtamasvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Two verses continuously, like scolding Arjuna almost. Klaibyam asmagam partha naitattvai yupapadyate. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktvottishta parantapam. So we expect Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who is the friend of Arjuna, to pat him on the back and say, "Oh yes, you are great, you have done great work. You are really having compassion for your fellow beings." He expected Bhagavan Shri Krishna to say that maybe, but Bhagavan Shri Krishna is just wondering how come his mind has become so low. He says, Shri Bhagavan. Who is Shri Bhagavan? Shri is that consciousness. Bhagavan is the one who has got six qualities. Aishwaryasya samagrasya, dharmasya yashasaha, shriyaha, jnanam vairagyayoschaiva, shannam bhagavartirana. Aishwarya, leadership. He is the one who is the leader of all leaders. Dharma, the one who has taken the responsibility of all. He is responsible for the well-being and welfare of this whole universe. Dharma. Yashas, the one who is so famous that there is nobody in this whole universe who does not know him. Shriya, wealth. He commands all wealth of this universe. Jnana, he commands all knowledge of this universe. Vairagya, he is having all this, he is completely dispassionate. He does not want anything, he is not attached to anything. Such a person is called Bhagavan. So this Bhagavan is saying, Shri Bhagavan, Kutahatva Kashmalamidam. What is this Kashmalam? Kashmalam is a very interesting word. It is used in Chennai, especially as a street language. It is without the ish, it is with the sa. Kasmalam, they say in Chennai, which means to scold somebody. Here it's a Sanskrit word, Kashmalam. Kashmalam is that which is strained out. You are cooking something. Maybe you are making a tamarind paste. You put it through the sieve. You put the water and tamarind paste through the sieve, and then the juice comes out which you're using for cooking, and the remaining which has to be thrown away is filtered and on top of the sieve. It can be tea, it can be tamarind paste, it can be anything. The juice filter, whatever the essence of the juice which has been taken out, whatever is remaining is called kashmalam. So in your thoughts, how come you're having such kind of thoughts which are all filtered of all juices? The essence is gone and you're having all the waste material in your head. And that too at what time? Vishami samupastitam. In this kind of a battlefield where you have to be ready for battle and you have to just fight. At that time you're having all these kind of thoughts. Samupastitam. And what are these thoughts? Anaryam ajushtam. Anaryam. These thoughts are not noble. You think that you've got noble quality of compassion? No, I'm sorry. These are not noble thoughts. Anaryam. Arya means noble, Anarya means ignoble thoughts. Ajushtam, it is not worthy. These thoughts are not worthy of offering into sacrifices, into the yajna. Ajushtam. Asvargyam, do you think these thoughts are going to take you to great places? Most of the time we are thinking these kinds of thoughts. We don't even know that these thoughts are going to take us nowhere. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling, do you think this thought is going to take you to heaven? I'm sorry. Ajushtam, asvargyam, it will not take you to heaven. Akirtikaram, do you think these thoughts are going to bring you what we think that we become? And when what we become something, then the whole world notices us. So when we become something great, the whole world notices us. Then do you think these thoughts are going to take you to great fame? I'm sorry, Arjuna, these thoughts are not going to take you to fame. They will take you to ignominy. They will take you to ill fame only. Akirtikaram Arjuna. And he continues, Klaipyam mas magama partha, he uses a very sarcastic expression to prick Arjuna. Arjuna was once Brihannala, neither man nor woman. 1 year of incognito. In after the 12 years of Vanaprastha is over, they have to go for 1 year incognito. Just he has to remain, they have to remain without being seen. So each one took a role during that time. And Arjuna's role was Brihannala, where he was a dancer girl. He was neither male nor female. He was a dancer, and he was also the makeup woman for the queen in that palace. So Krishna is just reminding him of the time, and a little bit he's pricking Arjuna. Do you think you're a eunuch, neither man nor woman? Which means he's indicating that, are you afraid of this war and you want to run away from the war? Klaipyam ma smagamav partha. Don't go into this kind of a state where you are so fearsome that you want to run, take your heels and run away from this war. Partha, the son of Prithvi, the earth element. Na etat tvayi upapadyate. This behavior is unbecoming of you, Arjuna. So in times when we are stuck very low in our mind, we are very depressed, we really need people who can lift us up, even when it is called tough love. Even if tough words are required to be used, loving words, but yet tough, those words have to be used to lift us up. That's a true friend's job. Naitatvai upapadyate. It is not becoming of you. Kshudram, this weakness of heart. Hridaya daurbalyam. Your heart is very weak and it is very low. It is thinking from the feet. It is not thinking from the head. Hridaya daurbalyam. Tyaktva. Give it up, Arjuna. Give up this weakness of heart. Uttishta parantapa. He is reminding Arjuna, any friendship is very great. When you remind the friend of, when you speak, the friend should be reminded of his own great qualities. Here, Krishna is reminding Arjuna of his great quality. What is the great quality of Arjuna? Parantapayati iti, parantapa. The scorcher of all enemies is Arjuna. Tyaktva, uttishta, get up. We need these kind of hard words, even in the morning, when we are feeling very sleepy and we have a whole day to go ahead. We have lots of important things to do, but yet we want to give it all up and we want to continue our sleep. So at that time, these words will come up in our mind. Uttishta parantapa. You are a scorcher of enemies. You can kill any job. You can kill any work that you have. Meaning when you want to attack work, it is called killing your job, killing your assignments, killing your, putting all your energy into something. So, tyaktva uttishta parantapa. You are a scorcher of all your enemies. You get up, Arjuna. Give up all your weakness of heart and get up. And now Arjuna speaks again. He tries to convince even more. He sees that the tone of Bhagavan Sri Krishna is not so good. Like that small child who notices that when the report card is given to the father for signing, and depending on the tone of the voice, the child's next move will be. So in the same way, the tone of the voice is not very good of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And so Arjuna tries to plead a little more. Arjuna uvacha katham bhishmamaham sankhye dronam cha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsami pujarha varisudana. Arjuna continues. He's trying to, whenever we want to score some points, he will take big names. So he is taking big names here. He is talking of Bhishma. He is talking of Drona, whom Krishna also likes very much. They're all teachers, they're masters. So Arjuna says, Katham Bhishma Maham Sankhye Dronam cha Madhusudana. How come, Krishna, I can Ishubihi Pratiyotsyami? How can I send my arrows towards Bhishma, is my own grandfather and my teacher, and Drona, who is my teacher? So this Bhishma was a person, when I was sucking my thumb as a small kid, he made me take the hand out and hold the bow and arrow too, and taught me to shoot. And then he handed over me to Drona, the great teacher. Madhusudana, oh Scott, you are not an ordinary person who's talking all this. You're also one who kills enemies. You know, these people are not enemies. They're all my grandparents and my teacher, my own teacher. How can I kill them? Pujarha Varisudana. Oh Arisudana, the one who kills enemies. These people are worthy of worship. How can I kill them, Krishna? Bhagavan. So Krishna, Arjuna is pleading with Bhagavan, and then the meter changes. Gurun hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaikshyamapi galoke hatvarthakamamstu gurunihaiva bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pradigdhan. Gurun ahatvahi mahanubhavan gurun ahatvahi shreyaha bhoktum bhaikshyamapi ihaloke. In this world, we can take bhiksha. We can go seeking alms. Bhavati bhiksham dehi. They will put some food. We can eat that food and survive instead of killing our gurus and such great people who have who have had great experiences in this world. Maha Anubhavan. It is better, Krishna. It is the best thing to do is to ahatva, not kill them, just spare them and go and take bhiksha and live in this world. Hatva arthakamamstu gurun iha eva, for the sake of artha, for the sake of wealth, and for the sake of fulfilling my desires, if I kill these gurus of mine, iha eva, then bunjiya bhogan, all the bhoga, all the experiences that I have in this world after they die by being killed by me, it will be soaked in their blood only. Whatever I'm going to eat, whatever I'm going to drink, whatever I'm going to enjoy after they are dead by my arrows, then that the victory is not a great victory because it will be soaked in their blood. So he is giving sentimental expressions for not wanting to kill Bhishma and Drona. And then he says, Nachaitad vidmah kataranno gariyah yadva jayema yadiva no jayeyuhu yaneva hatva na jijivishamaha teva sthitaha pramukhe dhartarashtraha. Nachaitad vidmaha, I don't know, Nachayetad vidmaha, we don't know, Kataran no gariyaha, what is better of the two? Yadva jayema, whether we win, Yadiva no jayeyuhu, whether we are won over. Which is better, I don't know, Krishna. Yan eva hatva, why I don't know? Yan eva hatva, having killed these people, jijivisham, Yaneva hatva najijivishamaha. After killing whom, we would not want to even live after that. Te avasthitaha pramukhe dhartarashtraha. Those people are all standing in front of us, mainly in the battlefield, on the side of the Dhritarashtras. Those people are standing there, having killed whom we would not want to live anymore, Krishna. So how can I kill them? How can I go ahead with this battle? I'm having this doubt. And then finally, Krishna does not budge. He is prahasanniva. He is just smiling. He just stands there. And so Arjuna finally, he gives up on his giving excuses. He says, he just accepts defeat in terms of, I don't know. You please guide me. Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha prichhami tvam dharmasam mudhachetaha yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. They are very prayerful words. He is at the feet of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And Swami Shivananda says about this verse that anybody who cannot find a guru, anybody who is not able to find a guru in their life, who do not know who is their guru, can chant this verse 11 times every day, they will find their guru. Because here, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Arjuna has chosen Bhagavan Shri Krishna as his guru, and he's fallen at his feet. So what does he say? My swabhava, my nature is karpanya dosha upahataha. It is filled with self-pity. Karpanya dosha upahataha. Prichami. I am asking you, Krishna, because my mind is overcome by self-pity. Prichami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. My mind is overpowered and clouded with dharma. What is dharma? What is adharma? What should I do? What should I not do? What is my responsibility? What is my not my responsibility? Dharma sammudha chetaha. Mudha is completely covered and befuddled and confused. Chetaha. Yat shreyasyat nishchitam. Whatever is shreyas, whatever whatever is the best for me, nishchitam bruhi. You decide. Sometimes even when we go to a hotel, there are so many things on the menu card that we would not want to really, it is called decision fatigue. We would not go through that decision fatigue. It makes us tired to decide. So we just look at somebody else's plate, or we just order what somebody else orders. In the same way, Arjuna is not able to take a decision now. So he says, Yat shreyasyat nishchitam bruhi tan me. You tell me what is best, whether I will fight in this war or whether I will withdraw from the war. Shishyaha te aham shadhimam tvam prapannam. I surrender at your feet. I am your shishya. I am your disciple. Shadhi, you please guide me. You please instruct me, and I will follow your instructions. When the mind is very confused in this place, we seek refuge at the feet of a guru whose mind is very clear. And when the guru speaks, the instructions are taken and we follow those instructions. That is the way of the guru and the shishya. So Arjuna is taking up the role as a disciple rather than trying to act on his own from this point onwards. And he surrenders at the feet of Krishna. And it is only at this point that the guru will open his mouth. The guru will not open their mouth until the shishya has really handed over charge to the guru of taking the decision on the way forward. Until they say that they are very great, they are very good, and these are the qualities, these are the reasons for which they are not doing something, the guru will just smile. The guru will just be available and just watch what is happening. The moment the shishya says, I'm sorry, I don't know, please guide me, I surrender at your feet, only at that time the guru opens his mouth and speaks. He is continuing, still one more verse is there. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat yacchokamuchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumavasapatnamruddham rajyam suranam api chadhipatyam. So Arjuna is continuing. Actually, in the previous vein, he continues. Nahi prapashyami mama apanudyat. I don't see a way by which this kind of a sorrow, yet shokam apanudyat, to be the sorrow can be removed. Yet shokam, this sorrow is uchoshanam indriyanam. It is uchoshanam, is drying up all my sense organs. We would have had this kind of an experience when we are conversing with somebody and that person really takes the wind out of our sails by speaking something that we are unable to handle it, we are unable to hold it anymore, and all our mouth becomes parched, our eyes become blurry, and our hands become very weak, all our sense organs become very shriveled. Nahi yatshoka muchoshanam indriyanam. My sense organs are all dry. They are dry of all prana. There is no prana left in my sense organs for me to function. Avapya bhumau asapatnam ruddham rajyam suranam apicha adipatyam. Even if all the great leadership over the devas, everything is given also, avapya bhumau asapatnam vruddham, in even if I am free of all enemies in the battlefield, in this earth, and also I get the the rulership of all the devatas, the devalokas. Even then, this sorrow which is drying up my senses is not going away, O Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Arjuna says. And now Sanjaya, who is reporting this to Dhritarashtra, is interjecting and he is telling Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya uvacha evamuktva hrishikesham gudakeshah parantapa nayotsya iti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha tamuvacha hrishikeshah प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः. Sanjaya says, Samjaya, the one who has conquered his senses very well, whose mind and intellect is under his control. He says, Eva Muktva Hrishikesham, towards Hrishikesha, the one who has controlled his senses, who says, Gudakeshaha, Arjuna, who is a Gudakeshaha, is one who has shorter hair, also one who has conquered sleep. Parantapa, Parantapayati, the one who can scorch his enemies, the one who can torture his enemies. Parantapayati iti. Parantapa, Arjuna says, Na yotsya, I will not fight. Iti Govindam Uktva. He tells Govinda. Govinda, the name for Bhagavan Shri Krishna, is also Go Yatra Vindate, where the sense organs touch and reach back, is called Govinda, the place of consciousness, the seat of consciousness, which is Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Na yotsya, he tells, he surrenders. He says, I am not able to, I am not going to fight. So that is when we have confusion about what we should do. We are not very clear. It is not the right time to go ahead with the action. If we have to withdraw from the action, clarify, get the required clarity in our mind, and then proceed with the action. Tushnim babhuvaha. And he has exhausted all his explanations and his excuses. And now what happens to Arjuna? He remains tushnim. He remains silent at the feet of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, which is the most famous picture of Gitopadesham in all our pictures that we see of Bhagavad Gita. Tushnim babhuvaha. And then Bhagavan Shri Krishna begins to speak. Tam uvacha Hrishikeshaha. How does he begin to speak? He speaks to that Arjuna who spoke like this, and he sat down at his feet. Prahasanniva. He just smilingly begins to speak. Bharata, to that Arjuna. Senayoho upayoho madhye. Where is that Arjuna? Between the two sides, two factions of the army. Vishidantam, the one who is sorrowfully seated. Idam vachaha. Bhagavan Shri Krishna begins to say. So here, Bhagavan Adisankaracharya gives a very beautiful summary of the commentary. Drishtva tu pandavanekam iti arabhya na yotse iti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha etadantaha praninam shokamohadi samsara bijabhuta doshat bhavakarana pradarshanaarthatvena vyakhyeyaha granthaha. So, beginning from Drishtva tu pandavanekam vyudham duryodhanastada acharyam upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit, from the time of Duryodhana up to the point of Arjuna, where Arjuna drops his bow, and Tushnim Babhuva, he becomes very silent. The whole description he gives in a few words. He says it is showing the shoka and moha, the sorrow and delusion. Shoka is shown with Duryodhana, where he is restless and he jumps about and he just tells the wrong things at the wrong time. And then moha is embodied by Arjuna. Arjuna is delusory in his thinking. He is not knowing what he is going to do, and he does not know what to do, Arjuna. So Shoka Moha is being shown here through these words. And this shoka and moha, sorrow and delusion, are samsara bija bhuta. They are the seeds for samsara. They are the seeds for rebirth. The seeds for us to take the next birth. Because they cause disturbances in the mind constantly. And as long as there are disturbances in the mind, we are not going to be abide in our true self. And as long as we don't abide in our true self, we have to come again and take another birth. So that is the reason why this Bhagavad Gita is being spoken. This Bhagavad Gita is a text which can put an end to our rebirth with the right understanding of who we are. And so that is the shoka and moha. So what is the shoka, sorrow, and moha, delusion? What does it do to us? Tatha hi Arjunena Rajya Guru Putra Mitra Suhrit Swajana Sambandhi Bandhaveshu Aham Yesham Mama Ete Iti Evam Bhranti Pratyaya Nimitta Snega Vichedadi Nimittau Atmanaha Shoka Mohau Pradarshitau Katham Bhishma Maham Sankhye Ityadina. When he says, how can I kill Bhishma in this battlefield? Why is it happening? Because Arjuna has two conclusions about himself. Aham Esham, I am this, meaning this body, mind, and intellect, I am. Mama Ete, all these people before me, body, minds, and intellects before me, they are all belonging to me. Mama Ete Iti. Then what happens when I am this and all these people are mine? This is our fundamental core problem in life. Bhagavan Sri Adisankaracharya points out to us what is the core problem in our life which makes us make all mistakes. I am this body, and all these bodies that are in front of me are belonging to me in some way or the other. They are relatives to me, they are relationships to me. Bhranti pratyaya nimitta. So there is bhranti, means there is confusion. Delusory thought is there of I am this body and all these bodies belong to me. They are my relatives. Then what is this confusing thought? What does it lead to? Snega vichedadi nimittau. It makes me go towards somebody in friendship. It makes me withdraw from somebody in hatred. Shoka mohau pradarshitau. Shoka is sorrow, moha is delusion. And these are the two things that are caused. This wrong, erroneous perception causes shoka and moha. And what is the shoka and moha? Sorrow and delusion. What does it lead to? Shoka moha bhyam hi abhibhuta viveka vijnanaha swatayeva kshatra dharme yuddhe pravruttaha api tasmad yuddhat upararama paradharmam cha dikshadi jivanadikam kartum pravavrute. Because of the sorrow and delusion, even though he is engaged in his duty as a kshatriya in the battlefield, as a warrior in the battlefield, swatayeva kshatra dharme yuddhe pravruttaha api, even though he is engaged, tasmad yuddhat upararama, he wants to withdraw from the battlefield. And not only withdraw, paradharmam cha bhiksha jivanadikam, he wants to take up somebody else's job. Somebody else's job here means a brahmana's job. What is the role of a brahmana? A role of a brahmana is to just take bhiksha. His job is not to defend himself and fight, but his job is to just be quiet and be calm and help others and just get whatever food is being offered to him as an offering and take it and eat. That is a brahmana's job. Kartum pravavrute. Arjuna is ready now to take up that job. He says, we will go to the mountains and we'll meditate. We'll sit and meditate. And what to do for food? We will take bhiksha and then survive in this manner. That is the conclusion which Arjuna is coming to. And so why that conclusion he comes to? Because his erroneous perception is I am this body and everything else, all these people belong to me. And I am fighting all these people and I'm killing them. And so, mama yete. And so I like this, I don't like this. So that is a problem here. And here Bhagavan Adisankaracharya says, Tatacha sarva praninam shoka mohadi dosha avishta chetasam swabhavata eva swadharma parityagaha pratishiddha sevachasya. When we are overwhelmed by shoka, sorrow, and moha, delusion, we will leave automatically. It is seen there in our day-to-day lives also. When we are overwhelmed with self-pity and we are overwhelmed with delusion, we will not really have the mind. There's a state of depression of the mind. The mind will not be able to engage in the action that we need to do for the day. And it will take up some other action like sleeping or like crying or like just sitting down and chilling out or even engaging in some other unwanted activities. All that will also happen. Pratishiddha seva, meaning what is prescribed, we will take up those things, and what is prescribed, we will leave it. So even the people, even suppose with the shoka and moha, sorrow and delusion, even the people are engaged in their responsibilities and their duties, swadharme pravrittanam api tesham vang manaha kayadinam pravrittihi phalavisandhi purvika eva sa ahankara bhavati. So even if they are engaged in their own duties, they will vang manaha kayadi, their speech, their mind and their body will engage in action phala abhisandhi purvika. It'll engage in action that gives particular results that they like. That is a problem here. Sa ahankara, with selfish motives, they will engage in actions which gives them certain results. And that is the way they will do if their mind is clouded by sorrow and confusion. Tatra evam sati dharma adharma upachayat ishta anishta janma sukha dukkha samprapti lakshanaha samsaraha anuparataha bhavati ityataha samsara bija bhutau shoka moha. This is a line which we can understand, underline and take it to heart. What samsara bija bhutau shoka moha. Sorrow and delusion are the seeds for rebirth. Rebirth means seeds for the continuation of this life of birth and death and suffering, enjoyment and suffering. Birth, death, and in between is enjoyment. Enjoyment we don't consider much, we don't take much, but suffering we are not able to bear. So that is a problem here. If we don't want to have suffering, we should not have sorrow and delusion. Sorrow and delusion should be given up, should go away from our mind. And so that is what the Bhagavad Gita is teaching. Tatra evam sati. How does the sorrow and delusion come? Dharma adharma upachayat. So because of sorrow and delusion, we do good actions, we also do unwanted actions, we collect the results of all those actions, and then ishta anishta janma sukha dukkha samprapti lakshanaha. We get janmas, we get births which are very, we like it, or ishta anishta mishra also. Human birth contains ishta, something that we like, something that we don't like, and when we do something that is punya and papa and mixture of punya, equal amount of punya and papa, we get a human birth. We get only punya, we will get divine births. We do only papa, we will get animal births in the animal kingdom, as rakshasas and asuras will be born. So ishta anishta janma sukha dukkha samprapti lakshanaha. Samsaraha. What gives us these births is samsara. Samsara will not, if samsara does not withdraw, if change, modification and change in our personality, if it does not withdraw, we will continue to be reborn. Tatra evam sati, so dharma adharma tayoho cha sarva karma sannyasa purvakat atma jnanat na anyataha nivrittihi iti tad upadedikshuhu sarva loka anugrahartham arjunam nimitti kritya aha bhagavan vasudevaha ashocyan iti. So Bhagavan Vasudeva, he keeps Arjuna as a nimitta, Arjuna as a means, Arjuna as a tool, and he talks to us. Today we are studying the Bhagavad Gita because we should not commit the same mistakes that were committed before by collecting dharma and adharma, actions which are which give us punya or feel good, something that helps us to feel good in this world and in the other worlds, and papa karma, something that gives us sorrow and misery. So we do not want to do these kind of actions which produce these results, And because of these results, we will have births. Punya karma gives Deva Sharira, Papa karma gives Asura Sharira, and Mishra karma, Punya and Apunya together, gives human births. So if we don't want to have further human births, if this should be the last human birth, then we should hold on to Jnana. We should hold on to Atma Jnana. Who am I? So the knowledge of the self. And there is no other way by which we can come out of this cycle unless by knowing the knowledge of the self. So to give this knowledge of the self, Bhagavan Shri Krishna uses Arjuna as a means, and he continues with the with this verse. These are the words of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. The first words of Bhagavan Shri Krishna spoken in the Bhagavad Gita begins with this: Boliye Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. So Bhagavan Adisankaracharya concludes here: Tatra evam dharma sammuda chetaha mahati shoka sagare nimagnasya arjunasya anyatra atmajnanat uddharanam apashyan Bhagavan Vasudevaha tataha Arjunam uddidharayishuhu Atmajnanaya avatarayan aha. So, Bhagavan Shri Krishna notes that Arjuna is wallowing in self-pity, sorrow and delusion, and to lift up that Arjuna from this morass, there is no other way except to give him the knowledge of the self. And so, Bhagavan, with the intention of lifting Arjuna up, he begins with the words of Atma Jnana or self-knowledge with these verses. Ashocyanan vashocastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gatasu nagatasumscha nanushocanti panditaha. Ashocyan, anvashocastvam. Oh Arjuna, you are worrying, you're continuously worrying about something that you don't need to worry about the people whom you don't need to worry about. Who are the people whom you don't need to worry about? People who are basically, everybody is Paramartha Swarupa. Everybody is in essence that supreme self only. So you don't need to worry about. And on top of that, you are worrying about Bhishma and Drona, who are all people of great qualities and great character in this world. So they don't need to be worried about, because people with great character and great qualities, they go to the right places. Even after death, also wherever they have to go to, they will go there. So you don't need to worry about all that, Arjuna. But you're worrying about all that. And you're also talking very lofty words. Pragyavadamsha bhashase. You're talking as if you're a wise man, which means, as if means you're not actually wise, you're ignorant, but still you use words as if you're a wise man you're talking. He's making fun of Arjuna here. Gata, why you should not worry about these people? Why wise men? Why you're only talking as if you're a wise man? Panditaha, panda yasya krite atma vishaya panda. The knowledge of the self. The people who have the knowledge of who I am is called a pandita. Gata asun, agata asunsya. For the one whose the wind, the air has gone, or the one whom the breath is still there in the body, the living and the dead. Pandita, Pandita is a person who has the knowledge of the self. One who has the knowledge of who I am is not worried about the dead as well as the living, but you are worried about people who are all living and as if they are going to die, and yet you are talking as a prajnavadamsha bhashase. You are talking as if you are a very wise man. So the commentary begins here, where the meaning is very simple. We will take it to the most important parts of the commentary. So the commentary of Bhagavan Shankaracharya cannot actually be studied and concluded in a YouTube channel in these talks. It requires a lot of attention. So the most important parts where Bhagavan Sri Shankaracharya makes special mention, we will see in the commentary. Why you're talking about these people, and why you don't need to worry about these people? Because नत्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे vayamतः परम्. He's talking about all of us. He's talking about Arjuna. He's talking about Krishna himself. He's talking about everybody else in the battlefield. He's talking about all of us who are listening and speaking. Natu eva aham jatu na asam natvam ne ime janadipaha. There was no time, Arjuna, where I was not. Meaning I have always been existing. Natvam na ime janadipaha. At the same time, all these kings that you see, all times they were existing only, Arjuna. Nachaivana bhavishyamaha. So do you think that having existed once and existing now, I will cease to be in future? No. We will all continue to exist in future. Sarve vayam atafparam. Even after this battle is over, even after the death in the battlefield, also we will continue to live and exist as we have always been existing. So natu eva jatu kadachit aham na asam kintu asam eva. I have not been at any point of time not existing. I have always been existing. Atiteshu dehotpatti vinasheshu nityameva aham asam iti abhiprayah. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, I always exist. Natu eva. So I always exist. Does it mean that you and the others will go away? No. Natu eva jatu kadachit aham na asam kintu तथा न त्वं न आसीहि किंतु आसीहि एव तथा न इमे जनाधिपाः न आसम किंतु आसम एव. Not only me, but all yourself also, and all these people also have never been non-existing. You've always been existing. तथा न एवस न भविष्यामः. At the same time, we will also not be non-existing, continue to be non-existing, we will exist. Kintu bhavishyama eva sarve vayam ataha asmat deha vinashat param uttara kale api trishu api kaleshu nitya atma swarupena iti arthaha. As an atma, as a self, as I will always continue to exist. You will always continue to exist. All these kings who are there will always continue to exist. Meaning there is no death. There is no destruction for this Atma, the self, the I that you keep referring to as yourself. So we will continue some 12 verses tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayah, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसोर्मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. हर नमः पार्वती पतये. हर हर महादेव. हरि ओम. श्री राम जय जय राम.